good protection on all the viewers, and amp up the Christ frequencies right now. Good evening, everybody. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. Welcome to a show that's out of this world, the number one spiritual UFO show on social media. We're glad to have everybody in here from all over the world, new people, regular people. Get a chair, get a seat, get a couch, meditation pillow, wherever you are around the planet. The studios are all over the world. Our studios are wide open. Quasar 63, Nunu, Nana, good to see everybody coming in. Nunu, told me I am God. We're all extensions of God, Diva. So that means that you are an extension, as we all are, extensions of God. Because God created all of us, all the plants, all the animals, we're all extensions. Karen 82, good evening. Commander and all. Ashley, Nunu, one divide. Yes, we all have God DNA in us because God created us. So that's in every single star person, every single person on Earth. We're all created in that level. Hey, for all relatives, hello. Gary Hass, good to see you, brother. Quasar, I've been watching me for a year. Good to have you with us, brother. I'm glad you've been here with us. Biforce, good to see you. Everybody coming in. Sarah Newton, East 23. Low, I think it is. Hey, Low, Christy Lynn. Katia, welcome, Katia. Real Talk 55, welcome. Gianni, Danielle, good evening, Coastal Cosmonaut, everybody coming in. Sarah Newton, hello, good to see you. Blessings, everybody. We send our blessings to all our viewers on Encounters US. Welcome, us. D. Joni, welcome, D. Joni. Karen 850, Karen, good to see you, Karen. Todd Boone, how you doing? We're doing good here. Good to have you with us. And if you're new to this show, this is a show that you're going to love, because this show I created this from being on radio for 21 years. I decided to take my radio show concept and bring it to TikTok. So what I do here is different than other people. What I do here is an actual talk show. We don't have people yelling at each other, cursing over each other, arguing each other. Believe me, I see that stuff on TikTok all day long. Not that I'm not on all day long, but I see it. And I say, what's going on here? So we started this show. Friends pushed me to come from Facebook and go on here and do a show. Some of my radio people said, do a show here on TikTok. And I decided to just play around with the idea. And here it is. So we do a show called Encounters. It's a spiritual UFO show. We don't just talk about nuts and bolts things. We get into Faries. We get into Bigfoot. We get into the crop circles. We get into Atlantis, Lemuria. We talk about all the things that are happening. We talk about the inner Earth cities and civilizations. We really get into a lot of great topics. We have a lot of different guests on here that have been contacted by ET intelligence. And last year, I've interviewed so many people that have had encounters with light beings, people that have had abduction experiences 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago, people that have had contact with positive space people. We do it all here on Encounters. The only thing we don't do, we stay away from the paranormal. So if you're a paranormal person, we are not paranormal. There are 10,000 other TikToks that deal with paranormal, not here. We deal with all the galactic, cosmic areas, non-terrestrial areas, so to speak. Hey, Edit, good to see you, brother. Good to see everybody coming in here, all the new people. And this is a show that's always out of this world. Gerard Robinson, good to see you. Cosmic Christie, hey, good to see you. Hello, I am so addicted in an amazing cosmic way. Well, that's an addiction that's good. The addiction to this show is better than most addictions, because this is a good addiction. Morgan, good to see you. My first time being able to watch the whole evening. I'm looking forward to your show. Thanks, Morgan. We're glad to have you with us here. Sassy Little Mama. Hey, how you doing, Sassy? Harvey, welcome to the show. I am God. Welcome to our show. All the new people coming in here. Kimberly, Lisa, George, Lissy, George, I think, Kelsey or Kelly. Welcome to the show. Good to have all the new people coming in here. Familiar names and new names. All kinds of good people here coming in. Let people know about it. We want to get to 100,000 likes. That means one of the things I do on my show is I get everybody involved in the show. It's Jim, good to have you with us. Hey, Paul, blessings. So I want everyone to start tapping in your world for now. Hey, good to see you. Everybody tap on the screen. We want to get to 100,000 likes by probably 12:30 a.m. in the morning. We're on the East Coast. So starting right now, our goal is to get to 100,000 likes. So we're at 3.4 thousand. We just started. It's only 11 p.m. That means everybody gets involved here. No slacking, no sleeping, no falling asleep, no falling off your chair. The commander is proactive with everybody here. Whether you're watching the show and just watching it, the one thing you can do is tap like some people are doing right now. If everybody does what that one or two people are doing, we will get amped up to 100,000 likes before 12:30 in the morning. All right? Good to have you with us here. Bernie, welcome to the show. GGG. I'm just looking at the names. Hey, Doe and Renee. Let's see who else is coming in here. Linda Norland, thanks. Bronze Star. I haven't slept in 2 days. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. So let me give some background for people that are new and heard about my show, Rebecca 1936. Welcome. So my name is Commander Rocky. Welcome to the show. I'm CmdrAleon. I am from Mars. Meriwether, good to see you always. I'm from Mars originally. I came here on mission to Earth. I purposely came here, have had human parents. They passed from this realm a number of years ago. Good, hey, Rebecca. And so I came here, but forgot where I was from. Not initially. Hey, Lady J. As we all do, we forget where we're from when we come here from other places beyond the Earth. When I came here, oh, wow, we went from 130 to 84 people. How'd that happen? Unless I was reading it wrong. Huh. It'll get up there. It always does. Hey, Marinette. Peace, love, and light to you. Peace, love, and light. So we came here from Mars, and we came here to do mission work. And one of the things I did off planet was I was an intergalactic communicator off planet. That's what I was. So I took the technology here that exists on Earth, but years later, of course, we have TikTok and Facebook and all these things. So I decided to do radio broadcasting and bring the subject up on radio. So I'm on an NPR Pacifica station for 21 years. And I've been doing that for 21 years. Then I decided to come on TikTok and do a show called Encounters, which I've been doing for going into 2024 for a year, going into a year and a little bit into a half, So I also work with the Ashtar Command, which is real. I've worked with them before there was any internet websites about it or anything like that. And so I'm very proactive here. And if you're just coming in, welcome to the show. We started just a little bit early, not too much early, 5-10 minutes early before the hour of 11. So the way I remember it is when I got older, well, part of what happened was when I got older, I met a woman named Ashtar Athena, who was from Sedona, Arizona. And she used to write for a magazine called Sedona Journal, which is a well-known magazine. I met her in New York State and went to a workshop. I was doing a reggae show before they had CDs and stuff. We were still using albums, and I had a cassette player. I got stuck with this group in New York State, and they were getting together as an event at this person's condominium. I got stuck overnight, and I met this woman, Ashtar Athena. And then through that experience, I started to remember who I was. And that happened years ago. I knew I wasn't from here when I was a kid. I didn't know what my connection was. Then I found out. Yeah. So I used to play, back in the day, I used to play Bob Marley, Third World. I used to play albums on a radio station for a time, for a couple of years. And then I, because I had spaceship sightings, I actually went to this thing in New York and met this woman named Athena. And she came from Venus. And this is before the internet thing was big or any of that. I just contacted her through a magazine that I was reading. There was no internet thingy going on. And when I met her, then everything fell into place. And then at that point, I knew where I was from. But I knew I wasn't from here anyway. When I was a kid, I told the kids in my neighborhood I was playing baseball with, I was from Mars. And hey, Chesno, good to see you. So to your question, a lot of things in my life proceeded as I got older in my realization that I wasn't just a human being having a human experience. I came here on mission from another planet, and I worked with the Ashtar Galactic Command, or the Ashtar Command, So I like to always give a in-depth answer, Fava, in terms of what your question is. So that's part of it, to make it simple. There's a lot of things that transpired since then. Yeah. L'Oreal, I think it's Laura Lee. Hey, Laura Lee, good to see you. Thank you. So when you ask a question, I can usually answer it. That's pretty much a short answer. In a number of years, a number of decades, and I was a contactee in the 60s with a spaceship that actually was in my cul-de-sac of where I lived in Long Island when I was a kid. I live in New England now, but when I was a kid, I lived in Long Island. Went upstairs. My parents and my brother were downstairs. For no reason, I went upstairs, go into my brother's room, open the wooden blinds, and there's a spaceship hovering with like a glow around it. And I see men, women, and children in light blue space outfits. I never assume people know my experience here when you come on to my show. So I share it again so people who are not used to knowing who I am, I want to make sure you know my story as a talk show host and also my experience. And so that was my visual contact. I never know whether I actually went on their ship or not. All I know is I was looking at them from the window of a second floor house and in the cul-de-sac at night. And there was this glow around this flying saucer with windows. And there was a central energy system that was blinking like crazy at the center. And all the people were looking at me from the ship in light blue space outfits. And they were tall, beautiful people, human like us. I never had any negative experiences. All my stuff was real that way. Yeah. Well, here you'll find people are very open-minded. Well, Fava, on my show, things have changed in the last 30 years. I've found now people are much more open than they were 30 years ago. So stick around here for a while, and I guarantee you're going to make new friends from all over the place. And you're going to see this as a community of viewers that are very tuned in, very open. Many of them are starseed. Many have had contacts or encounters or sightings. So yeah, good place to be. Good place to be. Now the eclipse is happening in April on the 8th. I'm nervous about talking about my experience. And you know what? And that's a human thing, to be nervous, but never be nervous about your experiences that you talk about here, because we are very supportive. This talk show, we have interviews. We don't have people arguing over people's experiences. I don't allow that on my show anyway. We have we're talk shows. So I will interview people one-on-one, and they will tell their story, and they have nothing to be nervous about. I know in other TikToks, people they just argue with each other, and it just drives me nuts. And therefore, I just stay away from all that stuff. I really do. But the protocol for interviews is usually no foul language, number one, over 18, no kids on the screen. Number three, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, no drugs. If you're doing all that stuff, you'll never get on the show anyway. And no paranormal discussions, no paranormal experiences. Everything is related to the ET UFO area, which is a very wide, vast array of subject matter. Lunar eclipse is tonight. I have no idea what's happening with that. All I know that in April, on the 8th, is an eclipse that's happening that I know about. The lunar eclipse, I have no idea. I've been so remotely out of that news information. If that's happening, good for that lunar eclipse. So you're watching Encounters. It's about 11:09 in the evening. Welcome to the show. We'll see who comes in here tonight. Please share and like and let people know we're here. We're glad those of you who are here early are here. We have 100 people. Jackie F., thanks for joining us. I know many more of you will be here soon. And let me just see here. Just to, as we get going here, we're just going to scan a little bit here and see who might be coming in. So we're just making sure people are aware. A lot of good people out there. And we're just going through the list here really quickly. I have a whole list of people. And we'll see who's there. Let's see. And watching Encounters. And I am CmdrAleon. Let's see here. We should be just going down my list of people. I could invite all these people, right? So we'll get them in here. We'll see who's out there. All right. We just invited another 14 people. So we'll hear, hey, Alicia, good to see you. Morgan, thanks for the likes. I'm going to set my goal tonight. My goal is 8 hanging lights. So I'm pinning 8 hanging lights on my show tonight. So that's the way. I usually change the gifting options. I might go to a hat, hanging lights. You never know what the commander's going to do here while you're on the show. So during the show, if you wish to purchase a hanging light gift for the commander, you can do that through the show. And that'll be great. And we're just getting ourselves amped up and started here. This is the way it always starts, gradually building up to a crescendo. And it will be. I believe we'll have some interesting interviews tonight. And also, April, Friends with Farie, should be able to come on tonight if everything goes to plan. Hey, Kathmandu, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's see how the lighting is here. We're going to bring this over here, bring the lighting up a little bit more. Can I do this here a little bit? Let me see. Whoops. I think we're good. Or should I do it here? We'll try it here maybe. This is good. Our lighting is as good as it's going to get right now. I'm a little bit darker than I wish to be. Here we go. I'm going to go here. Just adjusting our lighting ability here. Hey, Rita, good to see you. Hey, Anna, good to see you. Matt, good to see you. Jersey for life. Yeah, we'll have April back on tonight. Hey, 1 Toyota 123. I know people are just getting in here. Please share and like to anybody that you think should start watching Encounters. And we'll be on here till about 12:31 a.m. About a 1.5 hour, 2 hour show. Thank you for the heart. We appreciate it. And I know that a lot of people feel there's a lot of things going on. And maybe you missed my morning radio program on every Sunday, 11:30. That show, my show from this morning, is on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News channel on TikTok. So the show from this morning is on there. Oh, I'm sure she does. We're going to gradually get some of that news. Etta, good to see you. I know a lot of things are happening active-wise with the command up in Vermont. And we're going to gradually, the next Friday, we're going to have Ashtar Command Q&A. And we'll also have The Ashtar Command utilized music to bring the message. Beth B, Star, welcome. So next Friday, we'll communicate with the Ashtar Command on the ships through music, and they will be able to use music to communicate their message to people here on my show. Matt, thank you for the hat. We appreciate it very much. And it's really good to have all of you here on a Sunday night. For some, Monday's a work day, but nevertheless, you're with us. Hey, Bill White, welcome to the show. Thank you, Lady J, for liking the show. Holy Roach, thank you for being here. Everyone coming in, welcome. Mule, thanks for joining us. Mule here in Encounters. Jacques Quinn, Angel, welcome. Gary Clark, hey, Rod. Everything, CmdrAleon. Let's see, Pooping and Scrolling, welcome to the show. I'm just reading all the names of the people coming in. Bill, thanks for joining us on Encounters. Jojo, good to have you with us on Encounters. And let's see who else we got here. Hey, Mario, good to see you. Good to have you with us, Mario. Christopher Descent, I think it is. Don't want to mess up names here. Hello there, Scrolling. Welcome to the show. Richie Perry, welcome to our show. Kate, welcome to Encounters. Everybody coming in here. All the new people, I see some new names. I'm glad you found us. We are actually a talk show and a radio host on Sundays on NPR Pacific Radio with the Cosmic Eye Show on WESU FM. Let's see who else we got coming in here. And our goal is 100,000 likes tonight by 1 o'clock. We have 24,000 right now. The way I do that part of it, if you're watching us, we don't just sitting there watching the show. You can be proactive. Even if you don't want to be a guest, you can be proactive in supporting us. Press and tap your screen. So when I tap my screen on my phone, that is what makes the likes happen. So when you take your finger and tap the screen, you'll automatically bring up our likes. If you don't know how to do that, just tap your screen like some people are doing, and we'll bring up the likes really quick. Mike, welcome. Tony Lorini, welcome to the show. Mike and Tony, GR, welcome. Jacob, thanks for the share. Design Gold, that's a good name. Thanks for joining us. Spiritual Abstract, thanks for the likes. We appreciate it. Hey, Bill, thank you for the donut. Speaking of which, I did have some good donuts today in the morning during my radio show. Before I went in, I got some really good donuts. Kay Gordon, welcome. Beast Mode, welcome. Etheric Mystic, welcome. Thanks for the likes. Lori, thank you for the team bracelet. We appreciate everything you folks give us here. Hey, Spiritual Spot, good to see you, sister. We can't wait to meet you April 13th at our event in Connecticut. We'll be getting into that tonight a little bit. We have a major event happening. And then after that, we have another big event happening on the 20th in Ledyard, Connecticut. So as we get closer to April, month of April, we have two major events in the United States here in Connecticut that are dealing with CE5 contact. One, the first event we'll get into a little bit later, and that's going to be coordinated by the Ashtar Command Contact Program. Our group has been around for over 11 years. We're very serious in what we do. We know what we're doing. We're all mature in our cosmic spiritual awakening, and we all have had experiences with spaceships or in our own lives over the years, visitations with positive space people or beings on some level. So welcome to the show, everybody. And to be a guest on the show, you have to be over 18. One of the things is the focus is on the cosmic. It could be galactic, it could be visitations. You might have had a crop circle in England that you've been documenting. It could be that you've had UFO sightings you've been documenting in your country or state or wherever you are. We want to hear your stories. And we love people's stories that they share here. Tarek by LA, welcome to the show. We love people's stories a lot. I love interviewing people. And I also have always information here from my level. I have lots of information about, hey, UFO guys, thanks for the follow. We have a lot of information just alone to share with people regarding what's going on here. Derek, thank you for the heart me. We appreciate it so much. All the people coming in here. Ronald, I think it's Ronell. User 319, welcome to our show. Doug Andrews, welcome to Encounters. For all the new people that have found us, we're glad. Hey, Sprites, good to have you with us. All the Farie H-Wags, good to see you. For all the new people coming in here, we're glad you found our show. In a world where there's a lot of crazy stuff on TikTok, you're now on a show that is a talk show. Okay? And I'm a professional broadcaster by trade. I've done, for new people, my Ashtar Command Cosmic Eye show on NPR Radio, Pacifica Radio affiliate for about 21 years now. So we're glad to have everybody joining us. Cliff says, the spiritual spot, I had problems with sending. Oh. So, hey, Michael, welcome to the show. Raider895, thanks for the likes. Dino, welcome to the Dino Jones. Good to have you with us, Dino Jones. You're watching Encounters, a show that's out of this world, and it really is out of this world. There's nothing like it. We've had many different weird things happen here on my show that deal with the galactic. Hey, Paranormal Ghostbuster, we're doing well. I hope you're doing well and had a good weekend. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Brandy, good evening. Good evening to you. Always. Lisa with Spirit, welcome. All the people coming in here, thank you for the likes, Lisa. Lilac, thank you for the likes. I'm doing well in the Philippines. Good. We're not doing that yet. We'll be doing that as soon as we have that permission. April, when she's communicating with them on the ships, we'll have eventually soon permission to do that. But tonight we're going to be showing you a picture of one of the big spaceships. Hopefully April will be able to come on tonight. And hey, Al, thank you for the roses. We're going to show you a photo of one of the spaceships that has been taken a few nights ago, that April was able to take. And you're going to see the space people waving at her in the spaceship. You'll see it. Thank you, Rod, for the hat. Karen 850K, thank you for the finger heart. Al, thank you for all those roses. I certainly appreciate it. I just want to wait till we get everybody in here. And for those that missed the photos from the other night of the spaceships, the mothership, we will have that narrated for you tonight. And we're going to see, I want to make sure she's able to get on. She should be able to get on tonight, according to the TikTok people. Let me see here where she is, where she might be. Well, hopefully she's somewhere. Hopefully she is somewhere. I will have to go in here and actually go to invite her. So let's see where she might be. She might be on this. What would be kind of funny if they took her on the ship again tonight. And wouldn't it be funny if I was absolutely correct that she was invited back on the ship tonight for more information? That could be very interesting. I got a feeling about that for some reason. Let me see here. We're going to see. She's not online right now. That's interesting. So we'll see. Maybe she was taken off planet on the ship. Wouldn't it be funny if I'm actually correct about that? The night we're supposed to have her back on, the Ashtar Command brings her back on board the mothership. That would be interesting. We'll see what happens. Hey, everybody. Wood Chippy, thank you for the share. But I know I'm going to show you this photo of the spaceship. I don't know why I think she's on the ship right now. I get the feeling that she's either on the ship or she's going on the ship, or something communication-wise is happening with the command. And I can only, hey, Chris, good to see you. I mean, I'm really down. I've been downloaded and tuned into a lot of stuff. Hey, Mountain Blueberry, thank you for the likes. But I just sent her a request, a friend, to join us, but she's not online right now. So that would be unusual, you know? Hey, Rosebud, welcome to the show. But, she might come on and say, well, I was a little bit late and she was maybe doing something, maybe shoveling snow, but not shoveling snow at 11:25 at night. I get the feeling she's on the ship. Why do I feel so strongly about that? Why is that? I'm going to show you a picture of one of the ships. They had 2 feet of snow the other day. Yeah, but she would have had time to shovel snow during the day. Yeah, spiritual spot. She could be on the spaceship right now. Jim, so let me explain this. She has biological cosmic family on that ship. She has a mother and father on that spaceship. So it's not so much she's chosen, that's her parents. They connected with her in the mountains, and it's nothing like personal in the sense that why wasn't anybody else chosen. It's not so much chosen. She has cosmic biological family on the ship, and I met her through my show. Oh, actually, she's here. So I'm going to bring April on here, and she's able to come on. She is free. So us here for new people.
Back. Woo!
April is back.
I am
For a minute,
back.
I thought you were taken on the ship, and I was thinking, oh no, she's probably taken on a ship.
Actually, I was in the middle of trying to find a motel for the 13th.
Okay. Did you check the ones I told you?
Yeah, I checked the one you told me, and I was checking other ones.
Okay, good. They're all different. I'm sure some are more reasonable than others for one night.
Yeah, actually, it's going to be for 2 because we have to travel out there and then have the following night. So 2 nights. So.
Oh, 2 nights. Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's good.
Because we're traveling
That's
out
good.
Friday to be there for Saturday.
That's right. That's right.
And then,
That's right.
then that night, and we'll be leaving out Sunday. So, anywho.
So anyhow, April, for those that are new, April is a friend of ours from northern Vermont. She works with the Ashtar Command. She also is, just to give you a certain bio of her, she has Bigfoot that are working with the command too. There's a lot of Bigfoots in the mountain region where she is. These are very much, she's connected with that. The Faries, very connected with the Faries. They are helping. There's a lot about April that is very interesting in her stories. You can almost write a book about it. It would be like an autobiography almost. And but she has so much information, and she has gone on the ship when she started going on. How long ago was that, April?
Oh God, it's been like almost 3 months now.
3 months. And when she went on the ship, just to be clear, she met her mother and father, which were her non-biological cosmic family. Now, how do the cosmic family of a person that is in human form, how do they find them? I don't know how that works, but all I know is that's what happened. Then we had her on my show and interviewed her to find out that on that ship, my biological cosmic mother and father, Luna and Robar, are on that ship. And then I have 2 sisters and a brother. Now, we all know we have biological family on Earth, right? Everybody knows we have brothers. I have a brother. He's in Long Island. He and I are totally different. I mean, it's like 9. They were totally different people. But he's still my biological brother on Earth. If you can understand the concept of having star family that you're biologically connected to from another planet or star system, everybody does. It's not exclusive to April or me or anybody. A lot of people here do have biological family off planet. They say, well, how could I possibly be one here, have a brother and sister here, and have somebody off planet that's a brother and sister? You have to think out of the box. You have to think beyond 3D belief systems, beyond what you've been taught. Once you understand those concepts of reality, then the realities become greater, right? They become more embraced in a much more expansive way. So I'm just giving you kind of a short bio of how this is all working out. There are potentially, well, there's not potentially, there's two other people on here, Kit Kat and also Johnny. And Johnny's in not Rhode Island. Johnny's in New Jersey. What am I talking about? And Kit Kat's in Long Island. So they all organically followed my show, not knowing, even though they didn't even know April. Nobody knew each other. So this is all organic. And what happened is the star people know what they're doing. I mean, obviously they know. And so the only people that chose anybody were the people on the ships. They're choosing, not just us, I'm sure there are people other parts of the world that are being called into active activity here. So the four of us in this area are going to be, April's actually been on the ship, what, 9 or 10 times now?
9
Roughly?
times total.
9 times total.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 2 to 3 months, after we have our visual C5, where April comes down on April 13th at the apple orchard, at some time after that, I keep getting, I'm not getting when, but I do believe in 2 months after that, that the other three of us, me, Kit Kat, and Johnny, will be also going on the ship. That's what I'm getting. I keep getting that. I'm pretty sure of it. And I just leave it up to them how they're going to do this. I don't know how it's going to be done. I just leave it up to the universe. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. When it happens, it happens. So without further ado, here's April. For new people that don't know her, she's a contactee. I can use that terminology because she is a contactee of the positive kind with our space brothers and sisters within the Ashtar Command. So I'll turn it over to her for now.
Hi, guys. So, how's everybody tonight? Is everybody good?
Hopefully.
I was waiting.
And I know,
good thumbs up.
And we'll go slowly because there's so much stuff, and we're going to hold off on some of it until next Friday. But what can you share now, since you've come back on, that you wish to share? And if anybody's any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, guys. So we're going to start off with Commander. The bathroom is not off limits at all. The bathroom is not off limits. Remember how we were joking around about that?
Yeah, but on the spaceship, yeah.
As far as when I was taken onto the ship this last
That's
time,
right.
they came through my bathroom and got me this time.
So
they walked through my shower, and then the wall in where my shower is. They walked through that, and like I could say, thank goodness. My pants were up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
That was a little bit much. And I'm like, I was so embarrassed. But anyways, we won't get into all that.
We won't get into that.
But just so you know, the bathroom is not off limits.
So they can come in any room.
Anywhere.
It doesn't, they're not looking at your room. They're saying, okay, it's time for you guys to go on the ship. We're here to bring you on the ship. That's what they're looking at.
Okay. So that being said, so anyways, we go on the ship, and we didn't take the weather ship this time. We took the it was one of their smaller ships. They didn't say what this ship was called, but it was like something like the double decker that I showed you the picture of.
Yeah.
It was something like that, but it was like a one decker.
Okay.
I didn't really get to see the whole outside of it because I was inside of it because they took me immediately up. Well, we walked a little ways and then it took me up, which was, if you look back in my page, you'll see me and my father. It was Knock and Nook that took me on the ship this time. It was just him that came in.
Okay.
So it was just the two of us, and I got it on security camera. You can see us walking a short distance to the ship. So when I came out the bathroom, we weren't even facing this is the weird part. When I was taken through the bathroom wall, right outside the bathroom wall, I have a porch because it's on the other side of my bathroom is another room that leads to my outside into a back porch.
Okay.
So if I had gone through my bathroom wall, I technically should have ended up on the porch. but we didn't end up on the porch. We ended up on the other side of my place heading towards the woods. I don't know
Huh.
how that worked, but that's where we ended up. So
Yeah.
my security camera caught us off in the distance, him with his hand. You could see us walking, and he had his hand on my shoulder like we're walking, and he had his
Yeah.
hand like this on my shoulder, and his wings, because you know they have the wings, his wing
Yeah.
fully extended out. Like it was really cool when we were walking, but it was like extended and like kind of pushed over that way.
Yeah.
So he had one wing down because he was walking with me, and the other wing was fully extended out. It was
Oh, interesting.
yeah, it
Wow.
was really pretty. But I'm like, you could see how much I'm way shorter than he is. Like
It
I
is.
like
Yeah.
when we were walking, I like came up to here on him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So anyways, so my security camera caught that and I posted it. It's really hard to make out, but I circled it and, you know, pointed out what everything was on it.
Hmm.
So anyways, so we go on this smaller ship, and we traveled, and okay, so first we went to Ireland. We went back to Ireland. I don't know what the significance is, and I didn't
Huh.
ask, and I should have asked, but we ended up back in Ireland, and we went to this. It used to be an old ferry fortress.
Really?
So I guess there's several of them out in Ireland from what your sisters and my sister was telling me. So we went to this fortress and there was two different ones that were there and we went to both of them. And I was gone for, I want to say about 9 days before
Hmm.
I was returned.
9 days
9 days.
around the fairy fortresses or around Ireland?
The whole trip we went to
The
two
whole
different
trip. Okay.
places, or
Okay.
three different places I should say. We went to
Hmm.
three different places, and I was gone a total like of 9 days is what I was
Wow.
trying to keep track of. It was around
Okay.
about 9 days,
Okay.
that I was gone. So the first one, again back within 52 minutes,
Yeah.
and so my
So,
family
so
was.
when she says 9 days, that's 9 days off planet. But she was off planet for 52 minutes. But understand, she was away from Earth for 9 days. If you don't understand it, it might get a little bit complicated. There's no time off planet, but on Earth it was 52 minutes. That's it.
Mhm.
But it was 9 days off planet.
So the space people, for those of you who are just coming in, so I was taken aboard a spacecraft, and this has been kind of a regular thing over the last 3 months or so. And this is my ninth time going on to a ship with the Ashtar Command. Um, my mother and father are stationed on these ships, and Commander's mother and father are stationed on these ships. Now, both of us, both of our parents sit on the council, the High Council, for the Ashtar Command and the good beings of light. So, and you explained to them about our star seed and all that stuff. So,
Right.
okay, so, anyways, that being said, kind of fast forward here a little bit, get back to the trip. So, anyways, so we're a chosen group of people that are chosen for a special mission, for all of humanity, and then we're also chosen to usher humanity into the new change, the new world.
Right.
When big contact does happen, things are going to change. These beings are coming to help us. They're coming to help us with technology. They're becoming loaded with med beds. They've got ships full of these things. I've seen them. They're coming to teach us how to grow food differently. They're going to be helping us, like, basically live more like them, not be them, but live like how they do.
Right.
They're
That's right.
coming to help us help ourselves, guys. Oh,
Basically, that's it. Yeah.
okay, so anyway, so we end up going to Ireland, and we went to an old fairy fortress, and there was two of them now, but the first one was, it was like a mound of dirt with like an opening to it. So it was
Hmm.
like an underground fortress that somebody had built. I guess
Hmm.
humans and fairy kind built this hundreds of years ago, hundreds and
Yeah.
hundreds 50 years ago or something like that. And it
Huh.
has this opening into a mountain, or like a, it's like a, I don't know if it's a mountain per se, or if it's more like a hill. It was like a huge hill.
Wow.
But there's this opening, and underneath the ground, there's this like huge fortress underneath there from when they had done battles and whatnot back
Oh,
hundreds of
wow.
years ago in Ireland. And this is when the fairies fought alongside of the humans. So
Okay.
I so
Interesting.
this trip explains so much. Remember when I told you how when they first made contact with me, how when we went aboard the ship, and they your father and a whole like room full of different beings, and then my parents, your father, my parents, and like this whole room full of beings were standing there, and then your father came forward and said, "Who speaks for this woman?" And then Annabelle
Yeah.
come off my shoulder and grew my size, and she said, "We and our kind do."
Wow. Yeah, I do remember that.
Okay, so this goes into this trip, I guess. Annabelle and them have been working along, not just, I mean, not my Annabelle specifically, but the
Right, right.
fairy kind
The
from that
fairies in
time
general from
working
that
with the
time period.
Ashtar, are working with the Ashtar Command. And these are fairies across the world, across all the dimensions, like these fairies and elves and that type from that dimension are working
Right.
with the Ashtar Command, which I didn't know. Like, because
I would
that's
never know
the
that.
reason why she was able to stand up and say, I do, you know? Um, so, anyways, so we go to this underground fairy fortress that was built by man, and it's an actual place. It's an actual
Hmm.
place. Like, we showed up there, we landed, and it was daytime when we got there. And
Yeah.
there was nobody around. There was like nobody. It was like out in the middle of this like humongous, like green mountainous fieldy
Wow.
area.
So the ship landed there. There was nobody there.
Hmm.
And did you
And
were there
and the
any
ship,
fairies there, or was it just empty?
it no, there was fairies there. I could see the fairies everywhere. I
Okay.
could see them
Okay.
everywhere, and they these beings, the my father and your father and my mother and your sisters were there to greet me, and my sister was there to greet me. So
Interesting.
the whole family, but your mom wasn't there at that particular place at that particular
Okay.
time. She comes in later on in the trip.
Okay.
So anyways, your sisters and my sister were there at this one location, the first location, which was this
Hmm.
fairy fortress that they
Right.
took us to, and it was basically an underground fortress that had another portal in it. We landed, and then the ship went back up. We got out, they greeted us, and then
Right.
all of us went back onto the ship, but I can't see the ship. I only see the door. That's all I
That's
can.
interesting.
It
So
was
the
closed.
ship was cloaked, but the door was not.
Right, but the window I could see out of it looked like one circular like type window that
Yeah.
was in this ship. So I don't
Oh,
think it was a
interesting.
double decker. I think it was a single decker
Single
ship. But it
decker.
was
Yeah.
the inside of these ships are so different than they look on the outside. Inside of these ships are huge, huge.
Yeah.
So whatever it looks like on the outside, I mean that thing could look like the size of like a three-bedroom trailer, and this thing and they
Yeah.
look like it's like football fields long inside. Like 'cause there's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
different.
You
It's
expressed
different
that
inside
too.
the ships.
And what you're telling people is that April's telling you is that the ship looks smaller on the outside, but that's the perception of your vision on the outside. When you
Right.
go inside the ship is way bigger than what it looks like on the outside. It's the perception of the human eye. Our reality, we see things a little bit differently than our space people and their ships. You know, what you consider like, oh, that's not a big ship. You get in there, and she's been in the ships of the command. They're way bigger on the inside than one would imagine.
Right. So inside the ship is different, but we all your sisters were at the opening to this mound to meet us, and my sister. So there was three
Yeah.
women beings out there, and you could tell they were different types of beings, but like your sisters were very pretty, so pretty. Oh my goodness, so pretty, but their faces were a little bit different. Like one seemed like her cheeks were a little bit chubbier than the other one.
Okay.
And they were bragging. They said, "Oh, we're twins, we're twins." And I looked at them like I said, "You guys are not twins," because one of them had a little bit chubbier cheeks than the other one. But they kept saying they were twins because they turned around and they had the same hairstyle.
Okay.
They had the long blonde hair, but they had like these little tiny braids right here and little crystals going down
Yeah.
the backs of both of them, but they kept saying they were twins, and I was like, you guys aren't twins. Like their facial features were completely different. Like one was chubbier than the other one, not so
Yeah.
much. I mean, as far as if these beings would be chubby, I don't know how to explain it. They're all thin and fit,
Right.
but one of
Right.
them had like a little
Facial
fuller.
features are different. Yeah.
But it's
Uh,
so pretty, Commander. And my sister was, of course, because she's an angelic being, she had the wings, full beautiful wings she had that kind of drug on the ground. I think the females of the angelic species wings are longer than the males. For
yeah.
some reason, every female that I've seen that's from the angelic realm, their wings are a little bit longer and a little bit more pointed.
Oh
That I've
wow.
noticed because I was really intrigued by their wings, so I kept staring at them. But every time I stared, but the females are a little bit longer. They almost like drag behind them like a cloak. It's really
Yeah.
pretty. Anyway,
Wow.
so that being said, and the angelic beings are also just a tad bit shorter
Hmm.
than the Palladian beings are. So anyways, um we all went on the ship. We all we all got on the ship, and the ship did this whole like elevator thing. It was really weird. Like we went above this mound again, the
Huh.
eyeball thing, like it looked like an iris opening,
Hmm. Hmm.
went straight down like a tube, and
Yeah.
went down into the ground. This space station was underneath in this fortress.
Did the ship go down in, or did you guys go in? The
We
ship did.
The whole ship went down
The
in.
whole ship went down. Oh,
Whole ship
interesting.
went down in, but listen, it did that transformer sound, so I'm assuming that the ship changed shape. Because every time, like when we were on the weather ship and it changed shape, it did that weird transformer sound in the
Hmm.
background. Like it was like a low hum, and it sounded like it was going. I
Yeah.
can't mimic
Yeah.
the sound. I'm horrible at it. But
No,
it
that's
sounded
okay.
like in the Transformer cartoons, how when the Transformers change shape, they do that
Yeah,
noise.
I've seen those a little bit. Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like, but a lower rumble sound, like just like that.
Oh, okay. All
Okay,
right.
so it did that sound, and so I'm assuming that the ship on the outside changed shape because the outside of the ship, I didn't think could possibly fit down this top of
It
this. I
had,
don't know. It was
you
weird,
know
but
what? Well, the ship would have to, because it's not of our.
I'm
So
not gonna
so
pretend to be smart.
well, I can tell you, I can give you the answer to that. I already know the answer. They're able, because they're not from a high vibrational pattern. Everybody, the ships are able to create any size they need to. It's not like Earth-based NASA technology where you build a pencil-shaped, spacecraft or space station. It can only be that size. With the space people from the command, the technology is way beyond Earth understanding. They can adjust their outer edge of their ship to fit into wherever it needs to go, and then expand it again. So they can maybe go into a smaller shape like this, like this, or into a much more expansive. So it's beyond Earth. It's a basically they can shift their shape basically in any which way they want to. It's just it's
So
they're
guys,
able to do that.
just so you know, like the weather ship is made out of that specific metal. And if you looked at my page, and the commander had showed it several times, that ship that looked like a star or like a cross that was standing straight up, that I had gotten the picture of, and the daylight was shining on it and it looked like a metal ship. That ship can transform from a sphere to that shape, and it also is the TikTok. Now you got me saying it, Commander. The TikTok,
I'm sorry.
the tic tac shape. So those tic tac shaped ships you're seeing, and the sphere ships you guys are all seeing, those are all the same ship. They can just shape shift into different
Yeah,
forms. So
exactly.
the metal allows them to do that. I'm not sure how or why it does that, or I think it depends on the job that they need the ship for, is how they why they change shapes.
Yeah,
So anyways, but this time we were on the ship was more rounded because the windows that were around it, like you could see out of every single window. And so anyways, um, so we go up, we go, like, we didn't do, like, it was really weird. Like we went up and we didn't like fly like up and then like around or anything. We went up and straight over the mound, and then the
wow.
mound opened up like an iris. It like opened
Yeah,
up like an eyeball iris, and we went down right into it. We just went
Right.
up, over, and then right
So
down.
when the mound opened up for people watching this, this is Encounters. My guest is my friend April in Vermont, who's a contactee with the Ashtar Command. She physically is having experiences with our biological cosmic family. Her mom, her dad, my dad, my two sisters, my brother. They're on the ship. Our space bodies are in stasis, which means, and I understood this years ago from my dear friend Ashtar Athena. She told me years ago, that commander, that our bodies are in stasis on the Ashtar Command ships. So when we go back home onto the ships, we have the choice to go into our space body or to come back to Earth in human form and continue doing work on the Earth. So there's going to be those options for people, just to give a little brief understanding. So when you went into the mound opening, I believe that the mound was like, the mound is not just a mound; it's a base beneath the mound, the star base or whatever kind of base it is. The base opens up, which allowed the ship to go automatically down, and then the mound closed back up as looking like a mound. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So anyways, the iris the eye opens up into a or the top of the mound opens up into this like iris. It looked like an iris of an eyeball like opening.
Right.
We went down into it, went down. It seemed like it was only seconds, but according to them we were like hundreds of miles underneath the earth's surface.
Wow.
And the fairies and all of them utilize this. Thank you guys so much for the gifts. But the fairies and the humans utilized this space hundreds of years ago. Apparently, they had
Hmm.
secret passages and whatnot to get down. Not as deep as the space station was, but like down under the ground, I guess.
Yeah.
From what they were telling me, I didn't really get to see, and I wish I had. I wish that I had more time to see up, like where the main part of the mound was, because I really wanted to see it. But you know, they had information, and they wanted me to meet your sisters and my sister. My dad, it was like super important that I met my sibling. Now our siblings, Jared and your two sisters,
Hmm.
and my sister came before our parents came to Earth. Like they were here like a couple of hundred years before our parents traveled here.
Okay.
They
So when you're saying that our parents existed, but they came on the journey way before the parents came to
The
Earth.
siblings did, yes.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I just wanted to clarify for people trying to figure
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah. So they came before our parents came, and then our parents came shortly thereafter. They traveled out here after, and have been back to wherever since then. But
Hmm.
they've come back. Our parents came back and forth a few times, but the siblings came and stationed themselves here and have been here
No, that's just
for a while.
interesting. And you might know the answer to this. How did they find us? How did they know how'd they find us? And did they tell you how they found us
Yes,
here?
they didn't have to find us. They were the ones that placed us into our energy into our
Oh,
human bodies. So our siblings were actually
oh,
the ones that did that, and our parents were there
really?
present for the transfer of our energy.
Interesting. Now I understand. I was
And I
trying to
had
piece
said
that together for
I
years.
had made the meat thing comment to them because I wanted to know if we were basically just using these as meat suits, and they said absolutely not.
Yeah.
This was my mom's words. She said absolutely not. She
Well,
goes, this is not meat
I've
soup. She
changed
goes,
the word.
your energy is not, you're not taking over somebody else's energy. Your
No, we're
energy
not.
is that human.
Well, we're not meat suits. We're basically,
No,
as I said,
that's what somebody.
this is our human spacesuit. Like this, just look at it as a human spacesuit. We chose to be here, and these the human form that we have, all of us, many of you are in the same thing. The human form that each person has here. I'm CmdrAleon, the host of the show, and I'm from Mars originally, and also I've worked with the Ashtar Command before I came to Earth. I didn't know how I got here, except that I know I chose to be here. I was sent here, but the pieces of the puzzle now make sense when April's explaining it. So our parents we agreed with our parents that we wanted to go here. We chose to do this, and they sent us here. We had families that we were born into, biological Earth families, and here we are, and we're all now meeting on TikTok, of all places, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
So here's the thing, guys. Like when we weren't chosen for the mission, the what am I the council the high council chose these specific teams because each one had something to bring to the table, like the commander and his communications and me commanding the ships, and Johnny basically being a doctor, and Kit Kat for her warrior skills. Believe it or not, Kit Kat, yes, you would think she's the most gentle human in the world,
Wow, she
but
has warrior skills,
oh
huh?
yeah, she's the one that
I didn't
trains
know
our
that, Kit
protectors.
Kat.
She's the one that trains our protectors.
Hmm.
Absolutely, she's the one that trains our protectors, and helps their spark to grow into these living beings.
Yeah, yeah,
Anyways, that's her job. But
yeah.
so anyways, we go down, and we get out at the doors to the ship open. They When they opened the first time, like when we were going onto the ship, they had opened like this, right? Like it just opened up like that. But this time
Mm-hmm.
when we went underground, they opened like that. It was weird. I don't
Hmm.
know how that was possible, but the first time it opened up, this time it opened this way. And
Yeah.
I don't know why I mind checked that, because it was trippy to me
Right.
that that happened. It's like this seems like anything's capable on these ships.
Well, they know
Um,
what they're doing, so there you go.
right. And I also this time got to meet these different beings. Now this is I hope spiritual spots in here, because this is gonna ring true for her, and this is one of the reasons I know this. Now she had asked about blue beings, right?
Okay.
She had asked about these small blue beings that had come out of this portal, and asked if
Right.
anybody had ever heard of that. And I said, yeah, those are protectors. And the reason I know these are protectors, they're a different type of protectors than Mikey. But the reason I know these are protectors is because these beings are basically they come from the fairy realm, but they're not
Mm-hmm.
fairies. These are
Yeah.
specific beings that protect specific starseed human entities.
Mm-hmm.
So some star seeds have those, and some star seeds have like the Mikeys type beings that protect them, and they're just like the Ashtar Command, like because we are the chosen ones. We have
Mm-hmm.
up to, each one of us, like me, I probably have more because my property is a lot larger
Yeah.
than some of your guys' properties, but so like in my house alone, I know for a fact that I have four Ashtar people stationed inside my home, and then at least 6 to 8 out on my property, and then in my woods there's also Ashtar Command posted up in my woods
Oh, yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah, I know that
They're all,
too.
all
I'm
over,
pretty
not
sure
just
into that.
ships,
Yeah.
but there's also like personnel posted everywhere.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
so anyways, we go down into this underground like world down there, and basically what this world is it's an opening to the other dimension. So this is a
Okay.
dimensional space station, um half in our world, half in the fairy realm. Basically, I've already been to the fairy realm, but every time I've gone, it's only been for like maybe the longest I've been there is maybe like 45 seconds, being able to stay in that realm. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. You're never there long enough, but the human existence can't really stay in this realm for too long.
It's because is it the way they live, the energy, or
The
the
energy, it's
breathability,
the
the
energy,
energy?
because
Okay.
human beings weren't meant to be in that dimension.
Okay. That
So
would make sense.
anyways, but I was able to go into the dimension this time. I was able to walk freely through it. But there, when it opened up into their dimension, we went through it it's going to sound weird, but there were these, when you walk in off the ship, right? There's a single room, and there's like pools. It looks like water. It looks like these round
Yeah.
circular containers of water. Like there's several of them. Like in the one room, the first room we walked into, there was like maybe 8 of them, 9 of them
Wow.
maybe. I didn't count them all, but I saw there was like 8 or 9 of these circular, like they looked like they were filled with water, but it wasn't water. It was some other substance. It was really weird.
Okay.
It was
Huh.
really weird substance. Like I wanted to stick my hand in it to feel it, but I didn't because I
Yeah.
didn't want to be like the weirdo doing it because nobody else was, and I didn't want to be that
No one
crazy.
else.
Oh my
Okay.
God, there's weird stuff. I
So,
gotta feel it.
so you wanted to be respectful of that, not doing that,
Yeah,
basically.
so
Yeah.
I stood there alongside him. I stood there alongside of my dad, and I listened. Instead of acting like a nut job and having word vomit, because I learned not to do that very quickly by being shushed the first time.
Yeah.
So I stood there and I listened, and what those were openings up into the other dimension, is what it was
Interesting.
explained to me.
So did the ship open up the other dimensions, or was
No,
how
the
did the
ship just
dimensions?
led us into part of that space station that okay, so we came off the ship, we went into a room.
Hmm.
When we went into this room, we went into another room, and immediately, like when I went onto the ship the first time, I was immediately put into my suit, just like I have the other
Right.
time. You go through that weird green blue light
You wear
thing,
that suit.
and then you get the suit on. You're out of whatever clothes it is you had, they're not there anymore, and you're in the suit. Okay.
So you were wearing the suit too when you're going when you're you had the suit on the whole time, the space suit on,
Every
correct?
time I've been with them, as soon as I go through the light,
Hmm.
I'm in the suit. In the
Interesting.
suit. And I've been feeling for pockets. I've been doing the most. Like I've been slick too, and I've been like trying to feel my butt. I'm like, is there any wires on this thing?
It's in wires.
I've been trying not to be too obvious, but I'm doing this whole where's the and I'm like,
Uh,
really? I'm doing
I'm gonna let you continue talking. My cat has now decided to meow,
okay.
so I have to check her. I'm gonna let you continue with the story. I have a cat, and she's now talking while I'm live here. I'll be right back.
It's because I'm on with you. He missed me. Okay, guys. Crazy lady talk. So anyways, so we go into this singular room, and it opens up, and it's like, I don't know, it was almost like it was like, if it makes sense to people, it was almost like walking into the mudroom of a house. It was like the first room you walk into. There wasn't much in there. There was like a table and some chairs, but it was like the space people's table and chairs type thing. Like there was a place for beings to sit down in this room if they wanted to. It looked like there was some kind of, like, I don't know, it was like a crystal desk that was in this room. I tried to mind check everything that was in this room because we kind of didn't stay in the room. We walked through it, but I was looking because I wanted to mind check the stuff so I could come back and describe it to you guys what I was seeing as it's happening to me. So we walk into that first room off when we got off the ship. It was kind of like a little platform, and it seemed like there was like an emptiness space that was a drop around where the platform came, and then we were immediately into this room. So you walk off the ship, you walk onto this platform. There was this emptiness, like I could feel a breeze coming from it. Like there's no like handles, walkway. It's just a walkway. Like you walk onto the thin, it looked like almost nothing of metal, and you just walk across it. And like we were walking all side by side, so it was a really wide platform, but I can see, like, I was the one on the end, so I could see like down. It was like an openness that was like, it seemed like there was nothing, that it seemed like it just went down for miles. You couldn't really see anything but like dirt on either side of the platform. It was almost like a platform leading across a mountain. And then you were immediately into this room. But yeah, I could feel wind like hitting me when we were on that platform. Then we went to that room, and it had like a table and some chairs that were there. And the style of like on the living ship when we sat down to eat, it was like that style. Um, and it was almost made out of like I can't think of what the heck this material is called. Hang on. It was made out of this type of crystal material.
Okay, that's a selenite.
Okay, so it was made out of, it looked like just like this. The table and chairs were made out of like this material. Okay.
And
Um,
maybe it was selenite, but I think it's selenite they were using.
Okay, so that's the way the table and chairs look like. The chairs actually almost kind of look like this. They didn't have backs to them. They were just kind of this style. You know, the seat where you just sit down and you could put your feet down.
Interesting.
They weren't like comfy chairs, but
Uh,
those resting cubbies that they had when I asked to use
Yeah,
the restroom and they thought I wanted to lay down, they had those
right.
little cubbies. Those looked really comfortable. Those had like cushy cushions in there and stuff, but the
So,
tables were like this.
so, so April, if we were traveling on the ship, this is encounters. When we go on the ship, and when Kit Kat, myself, and Johnny go on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say we're away for a whole month off planet,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to go and we want to sleep because we're used to sleeping. Uh, there's an area where we can lay down on the ship and be comfortable
All the
and
ships
go to
have living quarters.
living quarters. Okay.
Some of them are smaller than others, but they make the quarters fit to how you are, your
Oh, good.
personality, whatever it is you're into.
Really
I
interesting.
don't know if it's done by holographic stuff because everything seems to turn into actual matter. I could not tell you how
Interesting.
that works.
It's
I don't
so.
know,
Is
but
it basically? Is it basically like I think what you're saying is when we go on the ship, all three of us, well, four of
Mhm.
us, you've experienced this, and I say, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now. So by our own thoughts, we create the room that we're in with the
Mhm.
comfortable sleeping arrangement. So
Right.
it feels comfortable to us that we're going in. It's an environment that we're used to, but it's still on the ship, and it's like a holodeck. We're creating through our consciousness a holodeck. It seems like correct.
Kind of, yeah. So when I went to go like get some sleep and lay down because I said I was there for like probably like 9 days or more. I tried to keep track of the days, but some of them felt like they were blending into each other because there was so
Hmm.
much to learn and so much to see. They made my living quarters look just like my bedroom here on Earth.
Really, that's what I
Really.
mean.
Mm-hmm.
So if I decide to
I
create
was
when I'm on the
very
ship
comfortable.
a bedroom with all my crystals around me, those crystals will be in that bedroom on the ship.
Yes,
Interesting.
sir. They would make whatever human existence it is you have down here, your room would look like that. Your living
Hmm.
quarters would look like that.
And that makes sense because what Ashtar Athena told me years ago is everything we do on the Ashtar ships is created by thought.
Hmm.
It is. It's all by thought.
So you when you think of when you walk into your bedroom, you think of your actual bedroom that you're the living space you're living in now.
Hmm.
That's what your room is transformed into.
Interesting.
It's all done by
Interesting.
it's all you're right. You're absolutely correct. It is all done by thought. I don't know like how it does it in the room. I could not give you that info. I didn't ask. All I
That's all
know is
right.
when I went into my living quarters, it looked like my bedroom.
No, it makes sense. Kit Kat is one of our people. She's going to sleep, so I want to just let her know namaste and blessings, Kit Kat. Thanks for being
Love you,
here this
Kit
evening.
Kat.
You know, but yeah, as you're saying, I really do understand that we create by thought when we're on the ship. We can create our room the way we want it.
Hmm.
The bedding in the room, not to get too technical because it doesn't really mean much. But we will basically, when you go sleeping on the ship, it's like you have a very soft kind of atmosphere to sleep on. Your body is contoured and comfortable to the environment. So it seems like did you go to sleep when you were on the ship at the time you went off?
Yep.
And how was that for you? Were you sleeping as comfortable as you would on Earth?
Yep.
Okay,
Everything,
interesting.
including the smells of my room, smelled like my room. Everything
Okay,
the same as my room.
interesting.
It was really
Very
weird.
interesting.
It was almost like I don't even know how to explain it, but and I don't know how their technology works to be able to do that. But all I know is you're corrected. I know it's done by thought. I just don't know how it's
Yeah.
physically transformed. It.
Well,
I
I knew for years that the Ashtar Command, when you're on the ships, on the Ashtar Command ships, everything is by thought. Your bedroom is created by thought. Your environment is created by thought because you're operating in a whole different vibrational frequency and dimension. So, what you're saying is, so I can translate some of it if you don't understand it completely. It's all by thought.
So you're gonna trip out over this. So
I'm
when I
going to
go in
trip out.
there,
Go ahead.
I brain checked this because I wanted to come tell you about this. So I always have a TV running in my room,
Hmm.
always, all the time, because I have to have some kind of noise in the background to be able to sleep. I'm just weird like that, and I think it's because I like the light too. I don't know, but anyway,
Right.
so I always have to have some kind of background noise in the background when I'm sleeping. So I always have a TV on low or something going or fan, something. There was a TV that looked like my regular flat screen TV that was in my room on the ship. And you want to know what was playing on that TV?
What was playing on that TV?
Your news channel on your YouTube.
Wait a minute. Are you serious? Wait a minute. Hold on a second here.
Yes.
Now you got me here. You got me here.
It was
So
just repeating
on
different shows.
on on the spaceship, get this, folks. She had her room on the spaceship, on the living ship. She had her environment set up. She was able by thought to create a TV set, a TV set, a cable TV set, and on the TV on the spaceship, they had YouTube with my show Encounters broadcasting through the screen on the spaceship. Am I absolutely correct in what you're just saying?
Yes, I mind checked that because I wanted to come back and tell you because I just thought that was hysterical. Like your
Now,
YouTube channel was playing on the TV, so it was just repeating different shows.
so let's now get to this interesting point. The Ashtar Command, my father, my mother, my sisters, my brothers, your family, and anyone else on the ship that's relaxing can watch any recorded show that I've had on YouTube automatically. And they've probably watched every single show I produced since
They
I
made the
started
room
here.
look just like my bedroom, so if I wanted to change to a different show,
Yeah.
I had a
You had a remote
controller
control in the
that
spaceship.
controlled it, and it was just
That's
like it
amazing.
was just like I was at home. But what only thing that was playing was
Right.
repeats of your back shows. It was
Oh my
funny.
God.
Like I kept looking at it, but I slept comfortably, but I didn't sleep for long. I didn't. I was so,
And
wound
let me,
out. And these
and
beings, they
Angie,
don't sleep a lot,
yeah,
so
Angie, just to let Angie know, these are our parents, Ashtar Command Angie. If you're not sure who they are, these are human beings like us. They're very beautiful, tall men and women, and they're our biological cosmic family. Just to give you some background, I think Angie's kind of new to this.
thank you, Jackie.
So these are very much our family. These are the star people. These are the positive beings, not the stuff you see on YouTube, on internet, on TikTok, all these AI images of negative looking monsters. Throw that stuff out the window. We're talking about Ashtar Command. If you're not familiar with that, we'll teach you a little bit about that. There's two sides to the coin. Well, we're the positive coin. We're the ones that are the positive star people, the spiritual people of light. And so what she's talking about is the story of being on the ships for 9 times. And we'll give people some background as to what's happening. We're having a visual contact on April 13th. April's coming down with your daughter, and we have people in our contact group here in the Ashtar Command in Connecticut. And we're going to have a beautiful gathering on the 13th at 8 o'clock at night. We're going to be broadcasting it live on TikTok. And my father has promised that they're going to show us maybe one ship, two ships. We don't know, but I know he's not going to just disappoint me and show a little dot in the sky up in the stars. I think we're going to have something dramatic happen. And I want to give you, because I think you're a little bit new to this, that there's nothing for her to be scared of because these are human beings like us, but very spiritual, loving people. And these are our family. We have biological family off planet. So I hope that kind of answers your question a little
I
bit. But go
think
ahead,
they were just trying to
April.
make me feel comfortable because, like, at home, then normally I would be, fumbling through TikTok. I have the TV on, but I'll be like looking through TikTok or I'll be going over past shows or something along those lines.
Yeah,
And I think that I don't know how they knew that, but so I think in their minds that having that up on there would make me comfortable, which it actually did. So I actually slept pretty good. I didn't have no problem sleeping. I didn't stay asleep for very long because I knew I wasn't in my real own home. But I slept as comfortable as anybody could sleep. I was
yeah, yeah.
overexcited. I didn't want to sleep.
And she was new. She's a new person, so I'm glad I was able to help her. And Angie, welcome to our show. We are on here 11 o'clock at night normally with our show. It's a spiritual UFO show, so we deal with a lot of different things and also with the Ashtar Command as well. So I'm going to turn it back to April. If anyone has any questions, why I also want to show that ship, the one where they're waving.
Mhm.
I think, and we'll get back to your story. Let me switch the camera picture. I'm going to show people the ship. Let me see here. I'm going to show people the ship. This is not what I want to do. Here it is. Here we go. I'm going to show you the ship here. And this is where, if you watch, I want everyone to really focus though. This ship, I'm going to move my head out of the screen here. This is a spaceship. This is one of the big spaceships of the command. There are windows in the ship. I want everybody to look very closely. Don't focus on each other. Focus on the photo. This is a ship that you haven't seen. This ship was recorded by April in Vermont as
All over
they're
the
letting
world.
her all over the world.
Oh, I'm
This
sorry. I was
ship.
answering a question.
Oh, okay. Look at this ship and tell me if you don't see any people looking out the window. Tell me if you don't see any people. Unless you're blind, you're going to see people that are looking out the window at April as she takes a photograph of the ship in the mountains.
They literally dead stopped in the middle of my grassed area, probably about, I would say about 100 feet off the ground. That's how close they were down to the ground, and I could see all the people in there, and I could see them. They were waving. Somebody looked like they were screwing like a light bulb or something, and I couldn't exactly see what the heck they were doing. But and then the other ones were waving at me. They were clear as day. They were waving like big old waves at me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't talk
And
about things, guys, that I don't actually have proof of.
yeah.
Like, and I'm
And
sorry
friend,
pictures are fuzzy, guys, but there's so much energy on my property because you have to
yeah,
think it's not just spaceships. I've also got fairy folk on my property everywhere, and there's a
everywhere.
ton of energy on my property. So getting like really good pictures is super hard, especially outside. I've got a good
Yeah.
camera, guys. I mean, look at my camera. It's a great camera. It's just taking
Yeah.
pictures like that is just crazy. And I've
And I
adjusted it,
will
all that. So,
and this is also the case with any good photographs of the spaceships.
hmm
Understand the vibrational patterns of these ships is so strong. You can have the best iPhone, the best Android phone. It makes no difference on your camera. The vibrational patterns of the ships will affect the imagery that is taken and broadcasted through an Earth-based cell phone. It's just the way it is. It
and
has
if
nothing to do with the quality of the phone.
it's also too like if anybody has had like a like have seen a ship, and I know a lot of people have seen ships far away, like up in the sky, but if anybody has like had an encounter with a ship that has been like, within like at least a mile of where they're actually standing at, you would understand that there's like a almost like a an energy hum that goes through your body when these ships are nearby. It almost feels like your body has a hum in it from the energy
Hmm.
from these
Hmm.
ships. So,
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that, but like being just like a few 100 feet from where you're standing and like 100 feet up in the air, and this ship just dead stops, and you can just see in the air, you can see the energy that my film actually captured. It's crazy. It isn't just capturing the picture of the ship, but you can see the energy in the air that these ships put out. It's
Yeah.
it's nuts. But anyway, so back to the ship. So I go into the first room we went into had a the table and chairs, and then it had like some kind of crystal type like desk area, and it had like, I don't know, like it was like a command center right there. It was almost like a command center that was all made out of crystal. And then we go into the next room. We walk through another door that went up, and there was no windows or anything in that first room. It was just like almost like a solid white room, and then it had the tables in there, and that was it. It was a simple, plain walk-in room. It wasn't anything to it. It was like the mud room of the ship, I guess. You just come off and you go on there and do whatever, and then you go into the next room or the next part of wherever the
Yeah.
station is. But the next room we went into, there was those cylinders that were coming up off the ground, and I would say they were about as big as a child's wading pool.
Huh.
They were about that big around. Each one of them, there was about 8 to 9 of them in one room, and they weren't in any real particular order. I mean, if I would have, like, if I was up high, maybe looking down, it would have almost been like in a circle, but not quite. Not sure what the significance is of the way they were sitting, but um and this picture that he's showing right here, all this ship right here, and all these little ships came out from behind my tree line right there. That all that dark area right there, that's the tree line, right? And then that brown, that's the dirt. That's like where the ground is. So all that's tree, and then this huge ship like just comes up out of my woods, and all these little ships are like entailing around it, and on top of it there was more ships that I couldn't quite get them all in the photo unless I backed way up, and then I would have been off my porch, and I didn't want to, do all that because I have a ton of snow on the ground and I was in my slippers, but I shot what I could. But
Yeah,
anyway,
and
there
that
was a
is
bunch more little ships floating around out there too. But all these ships just came out of my trees, all out of my
right.
trees.
And the one that you're seeing on the top that April's looking
That's
at
a
is
huge ship.
that's the big, huge
Huge.
mothership, Ashtar ship. The little lights below it are smaller scout craft. The one on the top is a one solid spaceship, folks. Look
Mhm.
at it. Focus on the photo. Don't get distracted.
So if
Focus
you're
on the
looking at
photo.
it, it's kind of like this as it's coming up. It's not fully like level. It was kind of like that a little bit because it was
It was
still
on an
coming up
angle.
out of the trees.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is
You
absolutely
can see
amazing.
like the bottom of it right here, and then it kind
Yep.
of goes down, and then the top of it like that. It's almost like a traditional disc shape, but it was really big, like
Oh
huge.
yeah. And if you think that is big on the outside, wonder how big it is on the inside.
Right.
Way
It was
way bigger.
humongous.
Way bigger. For people that want to be guests on our show tomorrow night, Monday night, all those that want to be guests tomorrow night, we're going to open up our guest requests to a lot of different people. So I do see there are people that want to be guests. Hold on to your thoughts for tomorrow night, and we'll bring you on. Friday night next week is going to be our special Ashtar Command Q&A session. That's next Friday night with our space brothers on the ship. We usually we've been communicating through them selecting musical areas that they wish to select with a message in it. Eventually, I have a feeling they're going to end up being able to speak to us through the TikTok. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I know they're figuring out a way to do that now. I'm pretty sure of it for some reason. I don't know why I said that, but we're going to be doing that. What we're doing tonight is catching up because April has not been on for a while, and we're catching up with what's going on. That's really important for everybody to know. And Monday night, I promise we will get people on here as guests. If you have 200 plus followers, we will have you on as guests. So hold on to your thoughts, hold on to your information for tomorrow night at 11 p.m. when we start going live. We're going to turn it back to April. We have no commercials. Please support what I'm doing. You have 35 or 100 followers, 35 or 100 subscribers. That's going to our third generation night vision equipment for our C5 group. And become also, I have 6 hats left. 6 hats left with the mustache. So please take a hat, support my show. You can also gift friends with Faries, who's coming from Vermont, and that's to be here with us on the 13th of April. And we are going to have a special broadcast on the 13th in an apple orchard where we're pretty certain that one of the spaceships is going to come in fairly close so we can record it. So please show your support for the program for April and what we're doing here. I think it's really important that that connection is there. And
Okay,
Francisco,
I just want to answer one question real quick.
yes,
Somebody had asked in the chat. I didn't see who had asked it. I lost it because the comments are going through so
okay.
quickly. If I had seen children on the ship, yes, I have seen children on the ship. I've
Can
been
you
on their
describe
living ship.
what did the children look like on the ship? Maybe that's another good
They
question.
look like regular children. They look like
Hmm.
they were um, very humanoid looking, like just like regular kids, except for they were blonde haired and blue eyed and very pretty.
Hmm.
There were some light brown haired ones, but a lot of their hair tones, like it's really weird. I didn't see like there wasn't a whole lot of people on the ship that had dark hair. There was a
Yeah.
few, but the majority of them were blonde or light brown, like maybe like this color, like right
Okay.
here. There wasn't a lot with dark hair, but most of them had really like light white hair. Their
Interesting.
skin has the angelic beings, look a lot like us. They have a it's almost like a sparkle to their skin. And just
Sparkle.
FYI, like they do shed some of their skin. Just like when they, it's weird to explain this. I mean, please don't think I'm crazy, but like the crystals
No
come
one
off of
does.
their skin. And like a
Yeah.
lot of people have said, oh, they've randomly left crystals. Like when I've had a visitation from these beings, like I'll find crystals on the floor in the weirdest spots, and they're not leaving these crystals like on purpose for you. They are actually come off their bodies. They have this like,
Hmm.
it almost looks like a crushed, like someone crushed up a diamond and just like
Right.
sprinkled it all over their skin. That they've got it, but it looks like
Right.
energy twinkles. It's
So it's. I think it
so
sounds
strange
like
to
what you're saying
explain.
is, to translate it, is they're radiating off of their bodies
Like it
light, and
sparkles.
it sparkles out, and then they regenerate more, and they just keep regenerating their energy as angels, and it's just what they do. That's what they do. Their whole body is generated to regenerate in
So
that
these
light.
small little crystal like stone things just like come off of them randomly. Like
Interesting.
I
Wow, that's
just like I've
interesting.
seen a few of them. Like I wanted to grab some, like I really did, but I didn't want to be the weirdo grabbing like pieces of them off the ground.
Right.
I
Right.
know
No,
it
I
sounds
got
weird,
you.
but
And it
so
sounds pretty normal considering where you were.
but they
You
are
know.
very,
Look.
very humanoid. They're very humanoid looking, very,
Yeah.
very humanoid looking.
Yeah.
Even down to like the protectors that are here, like there's the I don't know. I think it's the higher up in the not I don't want to say ranks because they don't have like a
Would you say not ranks, but a vibrational level?
yeah,
Would that
vibrational level. There
It's
you go.
more
The higher
vibration. It has nothing to do with ranks. It's a vibration.
right. So the higher up the being, the more translucent or the more sparkly their skin is.
Right.
I That's what
And
I
or
noticed
they can
about them.
sparkly or trans. They can be sparkly, like you say, or they can be translucent more in that vibration. Their
Because like
bodies.
the people the Ashtar Command people that are stationed at my home, their skin looks a lot like our skin.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah, they
more like
do.
our skin, except for it has like a, I don't know, like a weird like vibrational thing to it.
It's a vibration. So when we're in our bodies in this that are in stasis, if we were in our bodies that are now in stasis and protected, we would have a glowing vibrational pattern slightly to our bodies,
Mhm.
because our bodies are made up of cellular structure, but our bodies are made up of light. And so when your bodies are made up of light, like on Earth, human bodies are different. Like some human bodies might radiate some light out, but the human body structure is different because of the vibrational level that the body's in on Earth. Although when we're on the spaceship, if we were in our star bodies that are now being protected, and that goes for anybody here listening or watching, you all have star bodies once you remember where you came from that are in stasis right now. Everybody does. The thing is, when you go back into that star body, you radiate a certain energy vibration that you don't do in your body on Earth. It's just different. Does anybody not understand this? I'm just translating what April's expressing because I understand it.
Yeah,
So I'm
so
helping you. I'm
I'm
helping
trying
you
to
out there. Go
explain it
ahead.
the best way I can. Guys,
No,
I'm
you're
sorry
doing
if it
good.
sounds a little crazy or a little out there. It's just I'm trying to describe the experience that I'm having and what I'm actually seeing with
Yeah.
my
No,
eyes
you're doing
so
good.
that you guys know what these beings actually look like. I mean, they are very, very humanoid. They just have this translucent glow and sparkle about their skin. It's almost like, you know, when people like you see on TV how like when people see like and I'm not trying to refer this as a religious thing, but you know, like how when people report seeing like Jesus or God or something like that, and they
When they
have
have an
like this
epiphany, or
glow.
the epiphany, or like an experience that is beyond human understanding, basically.
Right. So like on TV they show that like glow. That's what these beings put off, like a
Okay.
glow.
Okay.
Um
Yeah.
so anywho, so we go into that first room, then we go into the second room with those 8 to 9 cylinder things that are about the size of a child's wading pool that has, but these are white. They look like almost like they're white crystallized. So I want to say cement, but they're not cement. They're made of crystal. Like
Well, just
cylinder
that's
tube.
good. Just saying crystallized cylinder or structure.
Yes. So
Okay.
they're these structures. They're round and they look like pools of water, is what they look like. And so there's several of them on, and they have little steps that go up into them. Yeah, so it looks something like that actually. But they had little steps that, anyways, they have like little steps that go up into it, and then just say like that point right there wasn't there, and there was water inside of it.
Yeah.
It looked something like that.
Okay.
So you step up these things, and then you step into the water, and you just go under, like you get sucked down. They're like dimensional stargates.
Yeah, that would make sense. That's perfect. Dimensional stargates. There you go.
So we go up on these little things, and my dad went with me and mine because I didn't want to, because I hesitated, like I stopped. I didn't know what they were doing or where we were going, and he was trying to explain it to me. He said in order for us to go um on to the next step is what the way he was trying to, I think he was just trying to dumb it down for my little human mind. So he was like, we're going to go on to the next step, to go on to the next place, we got to do this. And basically it was what he was telling me. So we go up these steps, and I hesitated. I didn't want to go up because I didn't know where we were going into. I was like, okay, going onto the ship, I can physically see where we're walking. I can see it. And then you're asking me to go up on these steps and just drop down into this water. I don't know where this water is
Wait.
going. I don't know
So
what the
wait a minute.
water is.
So I'm going to slow you down. You went up into some steps, and you were in the spacesuit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you do after you went on these steps? What did they have you do?
Okay, so we went into the room with the cylinders. The cylinder things had steps going up them, and we were
Okay.
supposed to walk up those steps and then just step off into this water. And I
Okay.
didn't want to because I didn't know where this water was going. I was having human-based fears is what I was doing.
Okay.
I didn't need to be afraid, but my
No.
human mind was like the unknown. I don't know what this is. I don't know where I'm going, and the million questions started making me be afraid, and I shouldn't have been because it wasn't scary. It was actually probably one of the coolest things I ever did.
So when you went into the water off the steps, did you just did you slowly go in the water? What did you do?
So we go up, we stepped onto the water, stepped onto it like we were walking on water,
You were
stepped
walking
onto
on
it,
water.
stepped onto the water. We were both side by side, and he kind of crunched in with me a little bit because there was two of us going through this portal, or not portal,
Right.
but through this gate.
The
So
Stargate.
we step onto the water, and then we both crunch into the middle of it. And he puts both hands on my shoulders, and I'm standing there, and I'm like my hands were so stiff at my side, and he's like
Right.
trying to push my shoulders down to relax me. And I did it. I did too. I immediately relaxed when he did that. He
Okay.
was like put this warmth through me when he did that, and I immediately relaxed. It was super weird,
Oh,
but
good.
he put his
And were
hands
you
on
like
me, relaxed me,
now
and
when you were relaxed, were you like walking on this water? Really? So you didn't go in a water, you were walking on the water.
we walked on top of this water substance.
Wow.
It looked like water, but it wasn't water. I
It
don't know what
wasn't
the
water. Okay.
substance
It was
was,
something
but
else.
we stood on it for a second, and then we like melted into it. Not it wasn't
You
slow
didn't
either.
melt.
It was like
You
pretty
like
quick.
you got absorbed into this whatever it was. What was okay? So when you get this is really interesting.
The
So you're
water
getting
was
absorbed.
pure. The water stuff was like basically pure energy. We were going down into.
Really?
Hmm.
So you went into pure energy as I'm describing what you're saying. Once you went into the pure energy, was who was holding you? Your father was holding you.
Yeah, he had his hands on my shoulders still.
So your father was holding you, and make sure you were okay.
Hmm.
You absorbed into this energy of what color was like a blue, or what color was the water?
It looked like the color of water, and it looked like we were going through water.
Through water. So when you went into this thing, what was it? Once you got into it, what happened? What was it like?
I didn't feel wet, but it looked like water. Because that's what I kept doing is I kept like I held on, like first I was stiff like that because I didn't know if I was supposed to move or not. I didn't know what I was supposed to do because
Yeah,
they didn't explain that to me. All I knew was that we were going on to the next phase or the next step or whatever it
yeah.
was he was telling me. So I'm sitting there and I'm all like stiffened up, like I was stiff.
Hmm.
And he
Diane
put
is
his hands on
saying,
my shoulders, and I got this immediate warm feeling, and I
yeah.
relaxed, and I took a deep breath, and then all of a sudden we just went whoop into the water, and it looked like
Diana,
I kept my eyes open. I did not shut my eyes because I wanted to see what was happening.
yeah.
and I kept my eyes open, and it looked like we were going through a tube of water. It looked like water was all around us, and it looked, I could still see him, not clearly, but it looked like we were in water, but we were not in water. It was
Yeah.
like pure energy we were in. So I wasn't wet or anything, but it looked like we were just going through water. But we were just
Yeah.
sinking down. It was weird. At first, we had like this hard substance underneath our feet, like it felt like we were standing on hard ground, and then all of a sudden, it just whoop, we melded into it.
Now, one person is saying or asking, and I think
I'm
that
sorry,
is
I didn't see that.
probably no, no. I'm helping. I'm looking at questions while you're explaining. So Diana is saying, she's saying maybe it was plasma that you were actually going into a plasma field of a liquid, a plasma liquid, um, and that could be. I don't know what plasma would feel like, but does that sound like something maybe you might have went into that pure, what looked like water was a plasma
Yeah.
energy or something?
Yes.
Okay, very good, Diana. Good question. Okay, that made sense to me. You know, and also Thomas, it wasn't wet, so she wasn't. She just described it as being like water, but it wasn't water. They went through like what I thought was definitely a plasma kind of liquid or energy field. So she's describing it, like you would see water, but they weren't walking on water. That was basically energy, some sort of energy liquid or field, and plasma kind of sounds right. Um, yeah. All right, continue.
Okay, so anyways, we go down into this like water energy stuff, and we just melded down, and then it felt like when we came out the other side, like we were a giant droplet of water. We were in like a giant droplet of water, but we were
Yeah,
in like it had this blue luminance to it when we came out the other end.
yeah,
So it
interesting.
felt
And
like we were in this huge droplet of water, but it wasn't wet, and it felt like we were moving in slow motion when we came out the other end. So we came out in this like energy ball, like a droplet, and we kind of like pooped down to the ground, and we were in this and it was like a almost like a forest. I'm trying to like think about this for a second. So
take your
we
time.
dropped down and we dropped into this forest, but everything in this forest was so vivid. And after we, okay, so we pooped out of this like out in this droplet. He still has his hands on my shoulders, and I'm like feeling myself like I had my hand on my stomach. I don't know why I had my hand on my stomach, but I
Right, right.
feeling my clothes to feel like if I was wet because I
Yeah,
felt like we were going through. It seemed like we were going through water. Like with my eyes, it looked like we were going through water.
but it wasn't water.
Feel
Just
like
let
that on
people
my
know.
skin.
There was no water, but it was like an energy field of liquid. And
Mhm.
then when you came through the other side of that liquid, you're watching Encounters. Our guest is April, who's back online with us finally, and she's sharing, updating us on the experience she's gone through. This show's being recorded, so if you missed any part of the show since 11, it'll be on my YouTube channel by tomorrow on Ashtar Command Spaceship News. All our encounter shows are there. And but she went through. So when you got through the other side of the liquid, moving like fast forward just a little bit, what happened when you got to the other side, and what did it look like?
Okay, so we go through and we're in that droplet of energy and we just kind of slowly drop down to the ground. I called it being pooped out, but we weren't pooped out. It was like we were a droplet of water dropping down to the ground, except for
Hmm.
it wasn't
Hmm.
fast, it was in slow motion. And
Hmm.
so we go down, and after it left that the tube thing and it was coming down into that energy droplet,
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
and we went down slowly to the ground, but then the color changed around, so it didn't look like clear water anymore. It was almost like a blue energy at that point. It looked like we were in this blue teardrop shaped energy ball, and I only know because
Wow.
I made sure I was looking around, and I kept having my hand on my stomach because I was trying to make sure I wasn't wet, and I don't know why I was concerned that I was wet,
Yeah.
but I
Can you can you April, when you got into the tear-shaped blue energy ball, what was that? Was that what was going on? How did that occur? And what was that feeling like?
So we went through the water, and when we came out the other side, it was almost like we were coming through a tube. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was almost like we were going through like a glass water tube, and it was like
Hmm.
water all around us. I couldn't see
Okay.
anything but the water though, and my dad
Wow.
standing in front of me. So it was like we
So
were
what?
going through this water tube, and then all of a
Okay.
sudden I was looking down, I was looking up, I was paying attention to everything that was going on around me because I kept trying to see if there was ground or earth or anything that was happening around me. So I like knew what was going on, but it was nothing but like this water energy, and it happened very
Wow.
quickly once we were down in it. So we go through this energy thing, and then we come down in this droplet shaped thing, and that's what it felt like. It felt like we were in a droplet of water, but it was huge. There was enough for two
Wow.
of us in there.
And what happened after you went through this teardrop, like this blue energy tube? Did you where did you go next from that?
Okay, so we dropped down to the ground, and then the energy ball just kind of like came off of us. Just kind of
Hmm.
came off of us. It was weird. It was like almost like wax melting, but very quickly. Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
down,
Yep, yep, like that. And
down, and
it
there
was
was
gone. It
nothing
was
on the
done.
ground.
Yeah.
It was just gone. That
So
was
when it
very
was
weird.
gone, you were with your father. And where did you guys go after that? Where were you then?
So we landed, and we were in this like opening in this like wooded area, but it wasn't like normal woods though. It wasn't like normal woods. These trees were like our trees, but they were a little bit different. The ground was like our ground, but it was a little bit different. Everything seemed like as if you were in a beautiful forest, but it was all just a little bit different. The colors were
Hmm.
so vibrant. It was almost like I was in a dream state,
Interesting.
and I
Interesting.
can't describe it any other way unless you've ever, if anybody here has ever experienced the fey dimension or the fairy dimension, you can't really describe the beauty of this place. It is
Wow.
absolutely stunningly beautiful, clean. It is so clean, and everything pops. Everything is just that brighter shade of green. Everything's that brighter shade of blue. Any color that you could possibly think of, and even colors that you would not think of are there.
Yeah. They would be there. And so it was a more pristine area than you've seen even on our own planet Earth. From where they took you, you got to see other things that exist that are in a like beautiful state of
Hmm.
being,
Hmm.
existence, right?
Yep.
Interesting.
So we were actually in the fairy realm, and I got to stay there for a couple of days. So we went to go meet with in Ireland, because every different part of the world, or every different part of their dimension, they have their world is like just off of our world, is the way it was explained to me. So their world is like our world, but off a different dimension. It's like the next couple of dimensions over,
Okay.
from our dimension.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. That
Yeah.
we're learning about, fairies. We've always heard about fairies through our time period, but now we're learning through April about the fairies in other dimensions where they have their own worlds.
Hmm.
And, whoever knew, I mean, I was be the last person to say I know everything. I never knew about that. You have shared that you were taken to the world where the fairies live on their own planets, but the fairies are also on Earth. And of course, you have the fairies that you've documented on your property, which is beautiful as well. So, very interesting. Very
Commander,
interesting.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to step down for a minute, for a little bit. I will
Okay.
come back up in a few minutes. I gotta deal with my granddaughter. She just got up, so I gotta get her back to bed.
Okay. I'll let you do that. If you go
Okay.
on the ship, at least let us know before you get on here. If your father or my father decides to talk on the phone, please introduce them before they come on here. I don't want to get people saying, "What's going on here? Why is that guy talking like he's on a spaceship?" Just kidding, but anything's possible. You know that. I'll let you take care of your granddaughter.
Okay.
We're on here till 1 o'clock anyway, so this is a special edition of April coming back online and sharing some updates with us here. We'll let her go for a moment to do what she needs to do on an Earth-based level, and she'll be back.
Okay, guys, I'll be back. I promise. I just gotta get my granddaughter back to bed. Love you all.
Okay, and this is CmdrAleon, your host, with a special edition tonight of April Friends with Faries, who had unfortunately had been reported to TikTok by. We figured out where that was coming from,
I'm doing.
and
Amanda, can you
let me.
kick me down?
I can kick you down. Hold on a
Oh, wait,
second.
there we go. Nope, that's not doing it.
Because I know if I don't kick you down, the space people are going to start talking on the phone, and
I'm on that
that's.
phone too.
Oh, you are on that phone. Really?
I
Maybe
figured
I
it would
should.
be a good idea.
Well, maybe I should. I'm thinking I better not do that.
Yeah, kick me
I'm not.
down 'cause I got to go deal with my granddaughter.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Do that. We're kicking her down. I had some thoughts here, but we're going to leave that alone. She's on the phone with the space people communicate, so we're not going to do that. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave that alone because, yeah, we're not going to do that. But she'll be back. We're here till after 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm still upset hearing who. Hey, bye for us. Let me see here. Thank you for the follows, everybody. We're just having a really relaxed, beautiful evening with April on our program tonight. We're going to tomorrow night have Francisco on and other people on. We have 103,000 likes. Thank you, everybody, for that. We appreciate all the gifts. Actually, yeah, Spirit, thank you for the hat. We need 3 more hats to complete our goal. Karen82, thank you. Become a subscriber. Do you know how to do that? Well, on TikTok, they have a thing that pops up telling you to subscribe to my TikTok. All you have to do is subscribe. You can do it for a month, 2 months, 6 months. It's up to you. And that money will go towards night vision equipment for our Ashtar Command CE5 contact program here in Connecticut. Nana, thank you for the roses. We appreciate it. So while we're waiting, any gifting would be beautiful. Hey, Christy, good to see you. Ashtar Command Ship. Ashtar Command Ship. Yeah. And Linda, even though you fell asleep, our show is being recorded. The beautiful thing is, if you have YouTube, anyone who fell asleep here, you can watch the show on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Karen, thank you for that. We appreciate the hat. We have actually one more hat to go on the shelf. The hats are going quickly. And that hat will complete our sale of hats for supporting our program. That's a really hats with a mustache are very popular. They're flying off my show here tonight, and we have one left. So if you have TikTok coins, support the commander by taking a hat with a mustache. I'm going to switch the gifting to a different object in a minute or two. Shelly, thank you for the roses. We appreciate all the little gifts of roses. Laura J took the last hat, and we just completed it. Thank you, Laura. So now the commander's going to switch it up. I know people like it when I do that. We're setting up a new gift. You'll be surprised. I love this one for some reason. I don't know why it is. We're going to do 8 of them. We're going to do 8. And when am I doing 8? Not 88. I want to do 8. And we're going to go this. I, for some reason, like this hat. I don't know why it is. But we're going to confirm it and pin it. Excuse me. I've just pinned my goal of 8 of these hats. The hat that I'm doing, hey, Stargazer, good night. Have a good night. We're doing this hat. It's like a kind of a light colored hat. Probably one you would wear in a disco. Yeah, Spirit, thank you. So I just replenished the shelves with a different hat to become a TikTok gifter on my program. And if you are liking this hat, please take one. Yaya is the first one. That means I have 7 more hats available. I can restock, not a problem. So if you have TikTok coins, you can get this hat right now while I'm on the air with the show. Jackie F took a hat. Thank you for putting it on my head. And I appreciate the hat gifts because I'll wear them for at least a few seconds. So thank you for the roses. That'll go good with my hat. I can use that with a hat. So we have 6 more of those hats available. They are flying off the shelves, those gifting of the hats to me. You can put it right on my head here. Nana, thank you for the roses. Golden Bear, thank you for the hat. I like this hat. I think I like this hat better than the one with the mustache. Yeah, Spirit, thank you so much. As we're waiting for April to take care of her little one there. Okay. And tomorrow night we're going to interview people. We're going to go back to more interviews, Francesco, and I'm sure there's a few other people that'll want to be on the show. And our show is on. Hey, Kit Kat, thank you for the cowboy hat. We appreciate that so much. We're doing well. We're getting into our goals here. So we need 3 more people to take hats. We have 243 people here. I would imagine a lot of folks have TikTok coins. So if you like to give me a hat to wear, I feel pretty naked up here at the moment. You know, you don't want the commander feeling naked, especially on a show without a hat on. You know, it's just there should be something here. Thank you, Ashley. We try to be somewhat hilarious when we can be. We have a good sense of humor on this show. But there are 3 more hats available, and they are available to anyone with TikTok coins. TikTok coins. Say that 3 times quickly. Welcome all the new people to the show. If you're just finding our show, we're on 11 o'clock nightly on TikTok with our show here, which is Encounters, the spiritual UFO talk show, the number 1 spiritual UFO talk show on any social media, here to bust the matrix. Also, you can watch my radio show on TikTok Sunday mornings at 11:30 Eastern. That's the Cosmic Eye, Sunday mornings on NPR Pacific Radio. That's the Cosmic Eye. I still have apple cider left, and we're doing good here. So it's been a really good night. Once April comes on here, we're going to wind down this evening's broadcast. Yeah, Spirit, thank you for the hat. That's a blessing. We have 2 more hats available. And naturally, whoever wants a hat like the one, that cowboy hat that Yaya gave me, I have 2 more that I'd like to wear on my head. I'm not opposed to wearing hats. I love hats. I just feel naked without a hat, you know. Hey, Graham, stay blessed as well. You as well. Stay blessed. And we have 107,000.4. Wow. We are up there. Thank you so much. Everybody who follow our show, please follow me. We want to expand our reach out to many, many people around the world. By following me, you're going to do that. Also, follow each other. Let's uplift everybody in the room here. Part of what I like to do is see people elevated, uplifted. I can't believe those 2 hats are still sitting on the shelf. They're like a disco hat kind of thing. They're just sitting there. It's amazing. They shouldn't be sitting there. Yeah, Johnny, he'll be back on. I think he's been very busy. Johnny will be back on here for sure. So we definitely appreciate everybody. There's so many things happening off planet right now with the eclipse coming up, with all the stuff happening. A lot of things going on galactically off planet. And as we go into the days ahead, we'll kind of update you on what's happening off planet with our activity and mission work and all the things that are going on. Yeah, Spirit says they're getting spider webs on them. Chrissy Simpson, B-Bell, Nick, thanks for joining us, Nick. I sent you a new message earlier, so check it out. I will. Before I go off planet tonight, I will check my messages here. On April the 13th, for people that are new to the show or tuning in late, we'll be doing a live broadcast on TikTok at an apple orchard where we're going to video record Ashtar Command spaceships or a spaceship that night. That's Saturday, April 13th. Mark it on your calendar. Our Encounters Special Edition should be interesting. We'll have our whole C5 group together in the field, and it's going to be quite interesting. Ruby, thank you for the cowboy hat. We're at 80% of our goal. We need to get that other hat taken. That singular hat, that single disco hat. It's sitting there. We don't want it to get any dust. I want to wear it. So if you don't want any dust on that hat, I need you to take it off the shelf and put it under my head. Somebody, give me that hat. Thank you, Ruby. Jackie F. Oh, thank you. More than ever before. Thank you. So now while we're waiting here, talking, conversing, we're going to set another thing. We're going to go to set up another thing. Thank you, all the gifters. We're going to set up a new goal here. And let's see what the commander will pick this time. Let me see what we're going to do this time. We're going to pick something different. I think what we will do... this sounds good. We're going to do 8 hand hearts. So people that like hand hearts, I'm now focused on you, the hand heart people. We're going to do 8 hand hearts. I'm putting the hand hearts on. So we should have 8 of them in there. Oh, I have 8 hand hearts. There they are. So you can now give me hand hearts, which are beautiful for those that like that better than hats. We try to switch it up. JV Man 123, thank you. We appreciate all the gifts. Thank you, Summer. I know people love those hand hearts, so I figured I'd put that on the screen. Ruby, thank you. We do appreciate it. Oh, we can broadcast in an apple orchard. Where we are, we broadcast all the time in the apple orchard. When we've been last year, when we did live on TikTok, we can broadcast in an apple orchard on a beach. My Wi-Fi is good. We can broadcast right at the apple orchard. Everybody at the apple orchard will have the ability to go live if they have TikTok. I will be certainly going live on my phone on the apple orchard. And it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a phenomenal gathering. And we're going to bring Friends with Farie back on here. And please welcome our guest. With no further ado, from off planet, Friends with Faries.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Did you get the little one to sleep?
Yeah, well, I got her back to bed. I'm hoping she's gonna fall back to sleep because, she doesn't listen to her mom at all, especially when she's overtired.
Oh yeah, I know what that's like when we were kids, right? So we're finally getting to the wind down here. And any other things you'd like to share as we get ready to all go off planet?
No, so anyway, so I'll leave off the story with we made it into the other realm. And we landed in their woods there, and like I was saying about the woods, everything was beautiful, everything was vibrant. It was like it's really hard to explain.
It's just a different environment.
It was up a color from our colors. So like the bluest blues and the pinkest pinks, and there was even colors in there that I have never seen.
Right. So if something was purple, what we think is being a beautiful purple flower, it would be 10 times more vibrant than the purple we know of.
Exactly.
And that's a simple way of putting it. That just everything was vibrating in colors way beyond anything we've seen on our own planet.
And different and just more vibrant than our spectrum of colors. It was absolutely stunning. we ended up walking up and through the woods, and the woods in their trees were their homes. Like, we got to go into their dwellings, where they live at, and it's crazy because they all live in like the trees and in the rocks and in different places. They had
And
like,
how did you go in the dwellings? Can you explain how that worked, though?
they were just like doors, just like houses.
Okay.
There was no special way to get into their doors. They were just like little, I don't even know how to explain it. It was almost like you were walking to a munchkin land. Like
Okay.
on the Wizard of Oz or something, but it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
weird because every doorway was like, everything was rounded.
Yeah.
All the doorways were mostly rounded. There was a few square ones, but most of them were rounded. And so we went to, like, we walked up to this big giant redwood, then the door would be rounded, and then you open up the door and you go inside of one of the dwellings, because like we went to a couple of different ones, and they had they called it the elder tree, and it was like a big giant tree with a hall in it, and it had this
Hmm.
big long wooden table, and there was a bunch of the fairy beings all gathered there at this big giant table. It was like really long, though it wasn't rounded, it was super long.
Wow.
And they had like all different kinds of foods and stuff on the table, but it was like our foods, though. It was just like our
Okay.
foods, except for everything tasted better for some reason. It was like had intricate
Yeah.
cakes and all this crazy stuff
Oh
that they
my God, I'm getting hungry just thinking about their
had.
food. You
It was
know.
actually, it was really good. But they had like all these intricate cakes and foods and stews, a lot of
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was like, it was really neat. So whoever, I don't know who their cooks were, but man, they had some really good food.
They have
Um
some good cooks on the out there where they live.
mm,
Interesting, interesting. Well, we're getting up towards like 101 in the morning, which is good. We hit over 111,000 on this broadcast, and hopefully, and everyone's also send friends with Farie some gifts to just put her over the top a little bit. She'll be here for 2 days, staying at a hotel with her daughter, and she's coming all the way from northern Vermont. So we want to give her some support, and we really appreciate people doing that. We're having a very special event on the 13th. And then after that, the next event will be on the 20th in Ledyard with my friend Grace, who is part of our Ashtar Command C5 group with the New London C5 group. We'll be going to that event as well. So we appreciate all of you, and we appreciate April coming back and being able to share. Next Friday night will be our regular contact night with the Ashtar Command with our parents on the ships. They'll utilize music for now. If they figure out how to, and I know she's using the phone that they broadcast on, I would like them to figure out how to speak without playing the music. If they can somehow speak English and answer questions for our audience, it would help our viewers here understand a few more things. So I'm putting it out there to Commander Robar, to your father, to the our people on the ship. I hope they can figure out how to facilitate talking. Thank you. Oh, you reached another goal. Thank you very much. With this phone that she uses, they communicate with us. So I'm hoping they will figure out how to voice communicate in English with the quality of sound through the music that we play through her phone. If they can figure out how to technically verbalize their words to our audience and take questions directly, which I think would be kind of phenomenal, since they're our family. I'm hoping they can figure that out, to do that. That's my request, and I know they
Jim
hear it.
probably
So,
don't understand why cake. No, I said they had all these intricate cakes. It wasn't just cake. They had other stuff too. Like they had stews, and they had all different kinds of food there. And the Fae do eat meat. They aren't strictly vegetarian. They do eat some sorts of meat, yes.
and that's not the Ashtar Command people. That's the
No,
fairies,
The
right?
Ashtar Command and the space people are strictly vegetarian, and they had tons and tons and tons of vegetarian food there too. It was like a lot of
Yeah.
vegetable dishes and different stuff that they had to eat. It was
So,
like I said,
so,
it was
so
like
that
a whole huge like banquet.
yeah, so they had stuff for people, like if you go to somebody's house and they are not vegetarian, they'll have food that are for people that are not vegetarian, and they'll have. I've been to houses where they have both. So basically, what April's saying is the fairies, they eat non-vegetarian food, but they also eat. There are vegetarian vegetables and fruits that are also. I'm sure there are fairies that are vegetarians, just as there are fairies that are, like to eat meat or whatever. So I would assume, just like humans, they have their palates are the same. But the Ashtar Command people are vegetarians, so they don't eat meat. Just to let people know.
So,
Yeah,
and I guess we will continue the saga of since
yeah,
you will continue the saga tomorrow.
yeah.
I'm
We'll
going to
have
be
guests
doing.
on. Go ahead.
I'm going to be doing a live after this, after your show, Commander.
Oh,
So
good. Well, definitely do well. I know you'll do well, and it's good that. And if you want to continue listening to my good friend April, who's coming down to our event on April 13th, follow her when she goes live, and she'll have a lot to talk about. Tomorrow night will be another edition of Encounters at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern. We will have regular guest interviews through the week. And if anything happens, like you go on the ship or something special happens, which I think could possibly happen this week, with you, you never know what's going to happen. The
I
thing
never
is,
know. Okay,
she
just
never knows,
come into the bathroom and just come on,
you
let's
know,
go.
you
Okay.
know, I guarantee you that she will be back on the ship at some point before the end of this week. I don't know which day it is, but whenever I say that, you end up going on the ship. So I think it's sometime this week. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I know she'll get more information, and I know that they're listening to us on this phone. She's using has two phones. This phone, they hear everything we're saying right now. So I'm saying right now, as CmdrAleon to my father, can you please facilitate using the phone to speak somehow through a translating system in English next Friday night when we have you on? The beautiful messaging through music is very important. But I think if we can have you speak and take questions from our viewers, that would be even phenomenal, if that's even technically possible, which I think it is. I just don't know how that works. Anyway, April is going to go live. I want to thank everybody for being here on this special broadcast tonight with April. Everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 11. Thank you for all your gifts, all your support. This has been Encounters, a show that's out of this world.
Bye, everybody.
Take care, April. All right, bye bye. Let me see here.